Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkey with Startup Trading. It is Friday, May 22nd, 2020. Remember, the markets will be closed on Monday. So keep that in mind. So some of the traders that carry trades at different time frames will be some of the shortest of time frame traders will be reluctant to hold those trades over the weekend, no matter how today ends up. So looking back at yesterday's session, you can see that the Russell was fairly neutral, right? Inside of yesterday's range. For the most part, so was the Dow, where you had the NASDAQ and the ES, both a lot more bearish, right? Hardly any trades went off in yesterday's range or in value after peaking above value yesterday as well. So, again, public service announcements Monday, the markets are closed, so keep that in mind. There's really not a lot going on as far as news today, so we can look at the 5-day, the 10-day, the range analysis. So everything except for the Russell, right, has been moving together the last 5 days. Last 10 days, more of a cluster group, right? You get out to 15 days, it's still the NASDAQ's the outperformer. 20 days, it's the Russell, so a little bit back and forth there for leadership coming out of this. And if we go to the 60 days, it's the NASDAQ by far, right? And the Russell's bringing up the rear by a lot. So as we look at year to date, remember the NASDAQ is positive and it is still doing quite well, where the rest of them are down in the dirt, especially the Russell. So looking at, I just want to back up and remind you guys that last Thursday during the bell, right, we were at 27.60 quarter. Tuesday overnight, we traded up to 29.76 quarter. That's 216 points that we shot up out of that low last Thursday. So for this week, the band I've been watching is basically this blue box I've got drawn is from 29.39 to 29.55. You can see, a lot of action went off in that on Monday, and then you had, overnight action, a lot of it in there as well. Tuesday in there, and then we had that liquidation break, right? Come back down, rotated back up above it, opened up near the top of the box, and pretty much held the top of the box all day Wednesday. Coming into Thursday, right, didn't lose the box, tried to open it back up above it and go, and just was unable to do so. Got in the box and really just closed around the bottom of the box. So let's look at what's going on, tonight in the overnight session. We'll get rid of him. So as we look at what's going on, right, the value area is from 29.43.75 with a point of control at 29.44, and it goes up to 29.63. Remember, we had a point of control yesterday at 29.68, and we only saw fit during the bell to get up to 29.73. So as we look at what's going on overnight, we've trapped potentially some more shorts down here, right? Some more fuel to the fire. And if we look at the overnight volume, we basically have, drum roll please, 351,000 contracts that have went off. And starting about 3:15 a.m. we hit this low, right? We haven't looked back, but all we've done is butted it back up against value area low. And if you look, this purple line is the unchanged line, right? So the settlement, that's basically for all the ups and downs that we've had overnight, right? Going all the way up to 29.52 half, going down to 29.0375. We're basically unchanged opening this morning from yesterday. If we were to open up right now, we still have 39 minutes basically until the bell. Looking at all the indexes, what we have here is the Russell's already at value area high, hitting some resistance after going down below S2 overnight. NASDAQ is still below value area low, right? The overnight high was up here right around the point of control at 94.08 with the point of control at 94.10. So watch that point of control for maybe a little bit of a line in the sand today as well. And then looking at the ES, we went through that, so we won't do it again. And the Dow is sitting here flirting with value area low in the pivot point. So as we look, I've got basically shown between S3 and R2 as potential ranges for the day, depending on how this plays out. But if you look at what I've got for the ES, I've got it all the way down to 28.42 quarter, which is S4B, and all the way up to 3,000 quarter. Obviously, we could just get stuck in yesterday's range. We could really go nowhere, do nothing, right? Get stuck in value area. But watch with all four of these above or below value for the morning, especially with potential. You had started off with shorts, and you've done just a basic V reversal right back to unchanged. So potentially there's still quite a few traders trapped below us, but you have to imagine since 3:30 Eastern time when the Europeans got in, a lot of those are net long, right? So it could be a little bit dicey, but I'm going to still watch that band between 39 and 55 basically. I'm going to pay attention to it as well. Looking at the sequences overnight, we can see that the shorts on the ES tried to hold the 50. They hit the 61.8, tried to hold that. Then the 50 became support, which should have been the short, right? They got their stop run and squeezed out, so it should be a little bit more neutral. The left side of this chart, these two on the left are from yesterday's action. This is from the session tonight on the right side. So looking at the bulls coming out of that low, right? A little sloppy there, but then holding the 38.2, coming up. So basically you're in extensions on a micro sequence from 29.27 up to high, and you could watch that and draw that out on your chart to see if that breaks, and maybe we'll head lower. Looking at the NASDAQ, same way, right? A lot cleaner. Held the 61.8 coming out of that low, held the 38.2, now holding the 21.4, and basically you're in an extension from 93.10 up to high, and then you can watch for that to break or continue as well. Looking at the Russell, very similar picture, right? Shorts broken, sitting here near the top of the range, 61.8 holds, didn't even trade the 38.2, right? This halfway back trade down here was it. So we'll have to pay attention to this anchor, which is 1325.90 up to high, and see what happens with that. I wouldn't put too much weight in any other anchors on a micro level overnight. Looking at the ES, I've got extended session turned off today just so we can kind of look where we are. We're at 29.41 right now. If we look at that on the chart, right, we're basically would be right at the top of this last red candle coming down at the end of the day yesterday, and that's where we'd open if we open up. If you notice, that's also where this ledge is sitting on the profile, right? So that could be support that we're opening up at, and we could just churn and burn up through this range again and potentially push the shorts up into 29.82 to even print 3,000, because anyone who's short the market, right, they can't do anything after we close today until Tuesday night session opens up. So Monday night at 6 p.m. will be the next chance they get to trade after this market closes today, futures-wise. So it's all on the table today, and it could be a healthy squeeze or liquidation break. And then you do run the risk of traders leaving for the, to head out to wherever they want to head to in this COVID world, that things just start slowing down in the middle of the afternoon, or look like they do. But as liquidity leaves the market, right, you can potentially get some more volatility because there's less liquidity there to keep things tight. So we could get a little bit of looser movement, some shaking and baking, or just an entire squeeze in the afternoon. So keep in mind that. So let's look at the NASDAQ. I'm not going to go through everything today. I'm running a little bit behind. Jack's going to be doing his program today in Discord. He doesn't. He's not going to be on YouTube, so I'll give you time to join him. He'll be starting in 3 minutes here. So looking at the Nasdaq, basically, watch this. I'm going to just call it 9,500. That's going to be where everyone's wrong. And then, so 93.51 is where we would be at if we open right now. That's going to be, basically right around the bottom of this bar, right? So the ES is at the top of it. The NASDAQ is down here with Amazon being weak yesterday, right? We could end up trading down to the downside to 93.18 or 92.50 if things get out of hand. So we'll have to see how they overcome this for the NASDAQ tonight. So looking at all the indexes, again, pay attention to value, right? Are 3 of the 4 below value area low or above value area high? That would be more of a go with trade. And for the ES, don't forget and pay attention to that 29.39 to 29.55 box. We're right in the middle of it right now. So that's almost trade the range or do not trade, depending on what type of trader you are. I hope this helps. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys on Tuesday morning. Have a great day.